And now it's time for Beating the Odds with Beeb. Starring Britain's adopted son, Joe Habeeb.
All right, Beating the Odds with Beeb is right back at you. And truth be told, we're on a 3-fight losing streak here, so we need to get back in the win column desperately. So, once again, we find ourselves in another highly competitive matchup on paper. And the fight that we're going to break down this week is Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton. That will take place next Saturday on July 30th. Leo Santa Cruz is a minus 300, while Carl Frampton is a plus 250. So let's talk about each fighter's style and break down how these two men match up against each other. Now, to me, Leo Santa Cruz reminds me of a smaller, upgraded version of former welterweight champion Antonio Margarito. Both men are high-volume punchers who rarely take a backward step, and they both like to wear down their opponents with constant pressure. Now, Santa Cruz has been in there with some decent names, but the biggest name on his record thus far, in my opinion, is Abner Mares. I actually expected Mares to do a little better than he did, but surprisingly, Santa Cruz fought a very tactical, less aggressive fight than usual and thoroughly outboxed Mares, particularly from the outside. Now, Santa Cruz also looked a little bit better defensively than I've seen him in the past. He gave Mares angles, and he was actually stepping off to the side while evading a lot of Mares' shots. Now, Santa Cruz also used the jab a lot more in that fight, while in previous fights, he seemed to have abandoned it. Carl Frampton, to me, is one of the most skilled, versatile fighters in the sport. He's a man who I feel is dangerous while moving backward as well as moving forward. Now, he's a very adept fighter at a distance as well as up close. And even though he'll be giving up a little bit of height and reach in this fight against Santa Cruz, I don't think it's anything new to him, as he's generally been the shorter man in most of his fights anyway. Although he is moving up to featherweight in this fight, he's perceived to be the smaller man. But, I do believe the rumors that he's been struggling to make junior featherweight, and I anticipate him to be more comfortable at this higher weight. Now, Frampton is a fighter who doesn't waste many punches and is very calculated in his attack. He can be aggressive when he needs to be, as he showed in his last fight against Scott Quigg. When he started out as the counterpuncher, midway through the fight, he actually became the aggressor and landed a short uppercut on the inside that broke Quigg's jaw and turned the fight around for him. I believe that he closed the show strong in the championship rounds in that fight, and he sealed the deal in a very competitive fight. Now, Frampton is very patient and is excellent at controlling the pace of the fight. He uses excellent feints to create openings for himself while keeping his opponents guessing what punch is going to come next. To sum it up in a nutshell, in my opinion, Frampton is the change-up pitcher in this fight, while Santa Cruz is the guy who's throwing mostly. So, let's cut to the chase. Who wins and why? Well, we have never seen Santa Cruz actually in there with a fighter who has the extensive skill set of Frampton. While on the other hand, we can say that Frampton has seen Santa Cruz's style before when he fought Scott Quigg, who I feel fights a lot like Santa Cruz and may even be a bigger puncher. Frampton adjusted and adapted well against Quigg, and I feel that he'll do the same in this fight with Santa Cruz. I think that Frampton will be able to use Santa Cruz's aggression against him and walk him into a lot of clean counter shots. So although Santa Cruz may be the busier man here, I see Frampton landing the cleaner, higher quality shot and winning a unanimous decision. Beating the Odds with Beeb is picking Frampton with the plus 250.